Last week, Paul Goldschmidt found his stroke in a 3-game series in San Francisco. He's been hot ever since, leading the first-place Diamondbacks to a 9-3 record in the division. Tonight, the Giants welcome back Johnny Cueto. The A's will try to steady a pitching staff that's been on the mend to get them back on track. It's Game 1 of the National League West Showdown next. The Giants road trip continues. Tonight, we're in Phoenix. We're at Chase Field as we get ready for Game 1 of a 4-game series. Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Very disappointing. The 4-game series in San Diego. The Giants dropped the last 3. Sunday's game, even talking to Bruce Bochy before the game, he's still bummed out about that game. So I think what he wants, Mike, is to see some energy, to see some offense, and give Johnny Cueto a good chance tonight.
Well, this is a great place to hit. The Giants have been waiting for this offense to click. I mean, it clicked all spring long, and it just hasn't happened once the regular season has gotten underway. The good news tonight, Johnny Cueto's back. The last 3 games in San Diego, Giants had a hard time getting to the 5th inning. So with Cueto on the hill, who's throwing very well, this is a team that will be very confident behind him, and let's hope he can get him back on track.
Yeah, no Longoria. Pablo Sandoval gets the start tonight here in the desert. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our NBC Sports Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box.
Back here in the desert, the D-backs have taken the field. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. The roof is open, which is a great sign. It is 74 outside, 73 inside. And of course, here in the desert, there isn't any humidity. All right, here's the lineup that'll be facing Patrick Corbin, the lefty. It'll be Jackson, Panik, and McCutcheon. Buster Posey will be the cleanup hitter. Pablo Sandoval in for Longoria. Sandoval will hit fifth, and it's Pence, Belt, and Crawford. And on the hill and hitting ninth is Johnny Cueto.
On the hill tonight for these Arizona Diamondbacks is going to be the left-hander, Patrick Corbin. And look at his start, 2-0 with a 2.45 ERA. But look at the strikeouts, averaging 14 strikeouts per 9 innings, 29 strikeouts in 18 and a third, 13 hits allowed, 4 walks allowed. He has been on fire. And how does he do it? Well, you're going to see a fastball that he'll 2 and 4 seam. It'll go low to mid-90s. And he's got one of the best sliders in the game. And he'll throw a lot of them. Also has an occasional curveball he'll flop up there. And 1 out of every 100 pitches, he'll throw a changeup just to stay in shape. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Patrick Corbin for the D-backs tonight, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Peralta, Pollock, and Dyson, the best arm in right field with Gerard Dyson. It's a good one. Ahmed and Descalso on the left side of the infield, Marte and Goldschmidt on the right side. And Alex Avila will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Corbin as he looks in, and the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's taken for a ball. So we get started right on time. Jackson hitting at 250, and there's a swing and a miss. He's 3 for 8 lifetime against Corbin. With Panik to follow, and then McCutcheon. Fouled out of play. The D-backs are coming off a really nice road trip where they took 2 out of 3 in 3 different cities. They're 5-1 at home, and they're 9-3 against the West. So all of their numbers in the National League standings are very, very good. Out of play again. The Giants, on the other hand, won Thursday night in San Diego, and then they dropped the next 3, which none of us saw coming. And the game on Sunday particularly ticked off that guy right there. Swing and a miss, and that's how this game gets started. Corbin, Mike mentioned it, had 9 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings.
And a lot of those strikeouts were that slider he just struck out Austin Jackson. That pitchcast is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. He'll drop that thing at your back foot, and it is tough to lay off.
Here's Panik. Panik is over 300 at 304. And he takes a pitch high. That's Dan Bellino behind the dish. Cuzzy, Hallion, and Siegel from first to third.
Bellino's basically a low ball umpire, but he's kind of a between the knees guy.
And this is right back to Corbin. 2 down.
A between the knees guy, meaning if you put the ball between the catcher's knees, you're likely to get a strike, even if you stretch it out 3 or 4 inches off both sides of the plate. If you throw it to the opposite part of the plate and you don't put it between the knees of the catcher, rarely do you get a strike, even if it's in the strike zone. But he likes the low pitch.
So here's McCutcheon. McCutcheon takes a strike. He's at 203, a couple of home runs, 8 driven in. Buster Posey to follow. And that fastball is high. McCutcheon in San Diego went 2 for 13. Here he breaks his bat and rolls one to short. And Nick Ahmed will throw him out in a nice inning for Corbin. So Cueto coming out. It's 0-0. Lineup, it'll be Peralta, Marte, and then Goldschmidt. Remember, Goldschmidt was very cold before he went to San Francisco, and well, say no more. Pollock, Descalzo, and Avila. Then it's Nick Ahmed hitting 7th, Dyson 8th, and Patrick Corbin 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the veteran right-hander Johnny Cueto. Cueto, 32 years of age, in his 11th year at the big league level. Cueto 5'11", 230-pounder. And when you look at what he has done here in Arizona, it's quite remarkable. He's 11-3 lifetime against these Diamondbacks, and here at Chase Field, 8-1 with a 3.18 ERA. You know, he'll give you a fastball, he'll 2-4 seam, he'll cut the ball, he'll throw a changeup, curveball, slider, all from a variety of motions. Very creative with how he gets rid of the ball. So we welcome him back off the disabled list.
So Johnny Cueto not happy with the mound.
Well, for a guy who's had an ankle problem, you could imagine he's a bit sensitive if there is some unevenness on the slope. You know, normally you run into a problem if you have two pitchers that will land in the same hole on the mound. That can be a problem. It doesn't look like that's the issue. Just maybe it was breaking down a little bit more than he's used to. Clearly, though, something is not right, so the grounds crew has been asked to go out and get some tools to come back and fix it.
And maybe he doesn't like the hole that Corbin made.
Yeah, I'm looking at the marks on the mound, though. I don't think they're hitting the same spot. Corbin's got a stride that's about another 8 to 10 inches farther than Johnny Cueto, and it's more towards the first base side. The other thing, too, is they put so much clay mixture in the mounds now. If a lot of that clay is getting into your shoes, it can gum up your spikes and you can slip. And if you're getting any slippage at all with your stride step, it's going to throw you off. So what they'll do, I think they're just going to gather up some of the loose dirt, maybe drop a little turfus or something on there.
And D-backs with a one-man grounds crew. It's great.
That's right.
I mean, this guy does it all.
All right, let's get the loose chunks up.
Do you think the other guys are on break?
Well, either that or they're behind the center field fence, horse laughing the guy.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Now he brought the tamp, so that's the #1 tool when you're starting to fix a mound. And it's an issue. I mean, if your stride step is not comfortable, you're not going to have your normal command.
All right, pound it down.
Well, the tamp guy brought the tamp all the way out from right field. If he doesn't get to use it, he's going to be half ticked off. Tom Hallion, the crew chief, is talking to Johnny Cueto, and he's basically telling Johnny, if it's not right, we'll get him back out here. Don't worry. And that's one thing I think is consistent with all the umpires. I mean, they are really aware of playing conditions because they do not want to see a player hurt, not when they are in charge of a ball game.
So Peralta will look at a pitch wide, hitting at 340. Peralta off to a good start, couple of home runs, 6 driven in. A little quick pitch and a called strike. I think it caught Buster off guard. Either that or it had some late movement.
It might have went right through Dan Bellino, the plate umpire's legs.
Think about the last time a pitcher got a call on a strike that the catcher didn't catch.
Doesn't happen very often.
3-1. Peralta is 0 for 6 in his career against Cueto. If Cueto has a bump in the road, it's usually in the first inning. And it's 3-2.
Let's take a look at the Giants defensively tonight, starting their outfield from left to right. It'll be Pence, Jackson, McCutcheon, Crawford, Sandoval on the left side with Longoria getting a day, maybe 2 off. Panic Bell on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Foul on the 3-2 pitch.
That was an ugly finder. Somebody got chased off the top step. Yep, Gorkis Hernandez.
Keys.
Gregor saying, I don't have to worry about those. I'm not ugly.
Marte to follow. Got him.
Good changeup. Right now, it's time for our Smart Play. It's brought to you by your Northern California Ford dealers. We go back to September 25th of last year. Johnny Cueto against these D-backs. 6 innings strong, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. As we mentioned, 8-1 lifetime here at Chase Field. And that is our Ford Smart Play.
Here's Ketel Marte hitting at 270. Good solid player as he takes a pitch inside for a ball. He's had 3 lifetime at bats against Cueto. And he's 1 for 3. 1 ball and 1 strike.
He first saw Marte last year when Nick Ahmed, the regular shortstop, was on the DL, and Marte played shortstop, and he was impressive there. Tonight, a second baseman.
And that's where we saw him in that series in San Francisco. And at third is Sandoval. Cueto taking a long look in, and now Marte steps out. D-backs are 11-4, so that's a good start for them. They mentioned the very good road trip that they just got back from. There's a pitch outside, 3-1. So 3-1 to back-to-back hitters. Foul back, and that was a pitch right down the middle of the plate. It's 3-2.
When Johnny Cueto's got a good feel of all his pitches, he is not afraid to pitch behind the count. simply because he can throw any pitch at any time, and that changeup, which is one of his best weapons, is very effective in fastball counts.
Hit out to Hunter Pence, who is playing Marte towards the line, and he eases over and makes the catch.
Now, if Hunter Pence is playing straightaway left field, that's a tough play.
That's a play where he's going to have to run a long way to get. You're right. So here's Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt hitting .241. He was 3 for 30 coming into San Francisco. Well, he's done a little bit better than that. He does have a couple of lifetime home runs off of Cueto. He's 7 for 27, a couple of doubles and a couple of big flies. You see his first 9 games and his last 6. Low. 1-2. And a bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, he's one of those guys that's scary if he's got a 1 for 93 going. Sleeping giant. Just too good.
If this carries down into the corner, it could be trouble. It is not, as McCutchen tracks it down. Both pitchers retire the side in order. It'll be Buster Posey to lead things off.
You by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Here's Buster Posey as we head to the top of the second inning. It'll be Posey, Sandoval, and Pence as Corbin deals, and Posey looks at a strike. Posey's got a little bit of ownage on Patrick Corbin. 13 for 43 with a couple of doubles. Buster was 1 for 12 in San Diego, so he was happy to get out of there, as we were. Although it is a good town.
It's a great place. It's always better when the Giants are winning, though.
Yeah. 1-2. Tried to wait on that, but couldn't.
Corbin, I mean, he's basically a two-pitch guy, but that doesn't really give him enough credit because he'll add and subtract a lot of speed off that breaking ball. He's pretty creative with it. Not just like he's trying to force feed a power slider down your throat every time he throws it. He can back it off.
Buster overall against the league hitting .313. Pokes it out to right field. And standing there is Dyson, one out. And here's Sandoval. Sandoval found out maybe about an hour and a half before the game that he was going to play. Longoria tweaked his ankle. It's a tough break for Longoria. He's just starting to swing the bat.
Really had a nice series in San Diego.
There's a high strike.
He's been struggling, but there's the numbers. The last 5 games, 3 doubles, home run, and he tweaks his ankle.
Lines this one to left, and standing there is Peralta. So here's Hunter Pence.
Left fielder, number 8, Hunter Pence.
See Dave Greshner. I know he's got a different title, but he's still a trainer.
Well, he's the director of training, and he's a happy guy because he lives here in Arizona. He gets to stay at his own house for a few days.
Pence takes low. Yeah, there are a number of guys that live here, right? Longoria lives here. Pence takes a strike. Pence went 3 for 14 in San Diego. Has 4 doubles and 4 lifetime home runs off of Patrick Corbin. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Right now trying to get on for Brandon Belt. Pence has changed his happy shoes, snappy shoes.
Yeah, no more snappy shoes, which were orange and white.
3-1.
And don't think for 1 second that the guys aren't superstitious about it.
Yeah, remember he said he'd ordered from Nike the black and orange, and this is what they sent him. Well, these must have arrived.
Yeah, the ones that he initially wanted, he finally got.
Skies it out to shallow right field. It'll be Dyson to make the catch, and that's going to end the inning. A.J. Pollock will lead things off. at AT&T Park. You get. Oh, you know what? Instead, we're going to do 2 flaps down. The Beat LA hat. It'll happen on April 27th at 7:15, and it's presented by the River Rock Casino. And there's a called strike to A.J. Pollock. Pollock hitting .273 with 3 home runs, 12 driven in. Overshift is on, and he takes down low. He has 3 hits and 7 at bats against Johnny Cueto, lifetime. Rolls it foul on the breaking ball. It's 1-2. Descalzo and then Alex Avila here in the second. In the dirt, it's 2-2. It was kind of the perfect place to have an off day for all the Giants players that do live in this area, and the trainers, executives. Also, make some friends during spring training. You're right back here again. Full foul on the ground.
Well, this time of year, it's absolutely perfect weather conditions wise, which is why we have the roof open tonight here at Chase Field. They were going to put the panels in the back. They were going to open those up, but one of them wouldn't open up. So they just decided to leave that part of the stadium closed, but the roof's off. No wind to speak of. Pretty benign conditions. Carry to both sides of this field. Great place to hit.
Got him on a high fastball.
That was our Xfinity fast pitch. It's powered by Xfinity high-speed internet. Take a look at the fastball right up above the letters, and A.J. Pollock could not lay off. Grab some pine meat. That's one of those pitches you just really have a word with yourself. But when you're in that batter's box, you see that pitch so well. You just can't get your hand on top of it.
They put him to sleep with a lot of slow stuff. Here's Descalzo, who takes inside for a ball. Descalzo at 189 with a couple of home runs, 6 driven in. He's playing tonight in place of Jake Lamb, who's on the disabled list. Pablo is at second base. Swing and a miss. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
That slider, that's the one big difference I see in Johnny Cueto 2018 compared to 2017 is the quickness of that slider.
Out of play.
Last year he really struggled to find that pitch. Had blister problems all year and just was throwing around a little spot on his finger that kept blistering up, and it just affected his breaking ball. This year it has been very, very good, very consistent.
Out of play. Pulled foul past Dave McKay. Belt will pick it up.
Descalzo's been swinging it well. He's been hot. Smart hitter.
Crawford's got a long run. It's going to be Cueto, and Cueto makes the catch. And a bum ankle. Cueto's running all over the field.
I mean, he knew where the defense was. He knew how far Crawford had to come, and there wasn't that much height on that pop-up. So it was going to be Johnny Cueto, and he looked over his shoulder real quick and didn't watch his footing. Did he roll that ankle a little bit? No, he did not. Nice play.
So here's Avila hitting at 125. And a strike on the inside corner. Swing. Ain't gonna miss.
Backed it up. Change up, change up. And you know, for guys to come out very first at bat to a guy and start throwing change ups, you better have a good one. Because they haven't seen your fastball yet. So and the changeup's always more effective once you have an established fastball speed in the mind of a hitter. Cueto pitching backwards, showing off speed pitches to get ahead and then trying to finish off with a fastball.
And a base hit to left field. Pence is going to cut it off. And that's the first base runner and the first hit of the game. And Nick Ahmed's going to hit.
Shortstop, number 17, Ahmed.
Ahmed with a couple of home runs, 9 driven in. So Cueto out of the stretch. And a high foul, and it's out of play.
When the D-backs were in San Francisco, Nick Ahmed was the hottest man on the D-backs team. Now, it is the exact opposite. He is the coldest. He got off to a great start the first week, and then he just cooled down.
McCutcheon, and in front of the warning track, he makes the catch. Belt, Crawford, Cueto coming up. It's 0-0.
vote. NBCSportsBayArea.com/AST in the 12th season of the program recognizes that teachers do indeed make a difference. Winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Please vote. 2018 All-Star Teacher.
Belt on the first pitch, rolls one. Diving is Descalzo, and he throws him out. So Descalzo moving over from third, and I just wrote 4-3. That's wrong.
Yeah, it's going to be 5-3 because that is indeed the third baseman. And Brandon Belt came out today, took a lot of extra hitting. Just has a hit, or at least a better chance of a hit taken away from him. I'm not sure if it would have gotten past Marte, the second baseman.
Here's Crawford. Crawford had a nice series in San Diego. He was 5 for 10. He and Belt did not start on Sunday. So basically 2 days off, or in Mike's Norm Sherry theory, 2.5 days off.
That's right.
Because today counts as a half a day.
Time Roger Craig wanted you to go on 3 days rest. Norm Sherry, the pitching coach, would be the guy to tell you.
Could be playable as Descalzo is over by the stands, and it's going to be out of play.
And if you were on a day game going into a night game, he'd say, well, that's like a full day off. You play in a day game, then you have the night off. The next day you have the day off, and you play in the night. That's just like, that's a full day. It's not a half day. Confused?
No sense even arguing with
So were we.
So Crawford out swinging on the high fastball. And here's Johnny Cueto.
But you couldn't help but love Norm Sherry.
Johnny Cueto.
Yes, he was a lovable guy.
He and Roger were a great team. Best of friends.
Cueto is 0 for 4 on the season. And he bounces this one to Marte, and that's going to end the inning. 9 up, 9 down for Patrick Corbin. It's 0-0. Marvel Day at the ballpark. That'll be Tuesday, April 24th. You get a Hulk Giants bobblehead and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Nationals. sfgiants.com/special events.
That will be a very popular
I
bobblehead.
believe that it will be. Couldn't agree anymore.
Kind of looks like Boch, doesn't it?
What, the bobblehead?
Yeah.
You know what? I think you're right.
Just don't tell Bruce Bochy I said that. No, he wouldn't care.
Yeah, he didn't get too overly concerned about stuff like that.
No, he does not. He's about as mellow as they get. Like a big old St. Bernard.
Here's Dyson, who rolls this one. This is going to be a tough play. And Cueto tags Dyson. So Cueto, who's nursing a tweaky ankle, now he's been all over the infield. Left side, right side.
Well, when he got the ball, he almost overran the ability to come back and put a tag on. So he had to do kind of a full circle karaoke step. All right, here we go. Now he's got to come back and reach around, and that's a job well done.
It's the only way that play could have been made. I mean, you get an idea how well he does move.
It only happens when you have a sore ankle.
Here's Corbin, who's 2 for 5 on the year. And a strike.
All right, let's take a look at the karaoke. Coming over, and then 360s.
Panic to Belt, 2 outs. It's a great example of why managers and coaches are very cautious when a guy tweaks his ankle and say, well, he looks like he's fine off the mound. But they also have to take into consideration like the plays that he's made. And that's why they skip a guy if his ankle is tender. Because making those 2 plays on a bad ankle could only make it worse.
Well, you can see the concern in Dave Gresher's face. Watching him very closely.
Peralta struck out in the first. Here he takes a strike. Swing! And gonna miss. It's 0-2. So this is game 5 on this 3-city trip. Giants take a bunch of 3-city trips to start out the season. In the dirt.
One thing you look at when you see Johnny Cueto from that angle is just how direct his stride step is to his target. And a lot of guys can't do that. I mean, he's got a big follow through and he falls out towards the first base side, but that left foot, when he strides right to his target, and watch the shoulder drives right to it. And why I bring that up is we are accustomed to seeing him use so many different wind up and deliveries. He'll quick pitch, he'll have a big turn, show you his numbers. And to have the consistency to be able to stride step and control your stuff, that's what makes him special.
And that'll end the inning. For the Giants, top of the order coming up.
It's a new game time on Saturday the 28th. The first 25,000 fans will receive a Brandon Crawford Gold Glove Gnome presented by AAA to commemorate the third straight Gold Glove that Brandon Crawford has received. You need tickets, go to sfgiants.com.
So here's Jackson. Jackson struck out to open up the ball game. There's a strike. I was talking about the three city trips. The first 4 trips the Giants take are 3 city trips. And then they have one more after that. That's not till August, as this is lifted out to Dyson. And here's Panic.
Well, everybody's getting used to the new scheduling. Major League Baseball increased 4 off days. And they also altered the schedule so that all getaway days basically are, especially if you're in another time zone, your getaway day is played in the daytime.
Panic takes high. For whatever reason, I just assumed our game here on Thursday was going to be a day game, but it's not.
Simply because the city that the Giants go to, Anaheim, is in the same time zone, so they can do that.
Inside corner.
But the thing they wanted to avoid, if you remember last year, the Giants went to Atlanta, and it was the last day of a road trip. They played a night game in Atlanta and then flew all the way back to San Francisco for a night game the next day. They got into San Francisco around 7 o'clock in the morning, and they did not fare well. So one of the things that the players had negotiated in their last basic agreement is to alleviate that problem. And this is the first year that it has been applied to the schedule.
Three and one to Panic.
And the one thing that kind of jumps off the page when you look at the Giants schedule 2018 are the 3 city road trips.
And the Giants with their first base runner.
Well, with Andrew McCutcheon coming up, we thought we would highlight him in our Coors Light refreshing finish. We go back to April 10th against the D-backs, and Andrew McCutcheon had a walk-off single off Jorge De La Rosa. Giants would win that ball game 5-4, and they would celebrate. That's our Coors Light refreshing finish.
McCutcheon rolled out to short in the first inning. Panic with his lead, being held on by Goldschmidt. Here's the 1-0 pitch. At the knees, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's that low strike we're talking about with plate umpire Dan Bellino. He likes him down there. And I think if you ask pitchers, would you rather have a low strike or a high strike? I think they'd tell you they'd like that one right there.
Hit into center field, maybe a bit towards the end of the bat. His Pollock is going to put it away. Here's Buster Posey. Buster lined out to right field in the second inning. Looks down to Ron Wotus. Ron Wotus used to manage in this town. They were called the Phoenix Giants. And that was their AAA team here for a long time. All the greats passed through here. really was a Giants fan base.
Well, there's still a lot of people that feel that way. And for that very reason you talk about, because this was the AAA club. It's a good town. It's always a fun ballpark to play in, Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Take a look at the breaking ball. Just on the inside corner. Buster Posey not overly enthusiastic about that call.
On the ground to second. And that'll end the inning. A walk. And that's it. It remains 0-0.
Of the San Francisco Giants may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
No score as we head to the fourth inning here at Chase Field. It has been a pitcher's duel as expected. Nice crowd on hand here on a beautiful night in Arizona, with the ceiling of Chase Field is open. The roof, we love it like this.
On the ground to Crawford, and Crawford is going to throw out Marte. What'd you call that? A gift.
One pitch out, start an inning, that is a gift.
A gift. So here's Goldschmidt.
I mean, it's really like starting the inning with one out, just for free.
Goldschmidt hit a fly ball to right.
The old saying in baseball, it's a game of first. I mean, you get the first out of an inning, you get the first strike of an at bat, you score the first run, you're going to do well. It's a good pitch. Johnny Cueto doesn't say a whole lot in argument or disagreement with an umpire, but he will give him a little look. Not quite stank eye, but umpires get it.
Dan Bellino. Two and two. A.J. Pollock on deck. Buster had a really good idea that's he was sure that's what Johnny Cueto wanted to throw, and Cueto said, nope, give me another one. Wanted a fastball in, something in. It's 3-2. And it nicked him. Didn't matter. It was going to be a walk either way. So the second base runner for the D-backs, and here's Pollock.
You know, for most mere mortals, if you are a pitcher and you try a quick pitch, this normally is what happens. As you can see, it just clips the jersey of Goldschmidt. But when you try a quick pitch, oftentimes that front shoulder will fly out and you'll drag your arm and you'll miss up and in to a right-hander, up and away from a lefty. And that's one of the rare times we've seen it happen to Cueto, especially on a 3-ball count.
Pollock looks at a strike. Pollock struck out on a high fastball. And Cueto comes back with a fastball below the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Johnny Cueto's going to call his own game. Of all the Giants pitchers, Cueto's probably the guy that shakes Buster Posey off the most. And there are some nights when the two of them will hook up and he won't shake him off at all.
And another strike. It's 1 and 2.
When you've got it going good, you got a good rhythm going as a pitcher. A lot of it has to do with the sign that's being suggested by a catcher. You're in agreement. I mean, you're going to get it. You're going to see that sign. You're in agreement. You're going to go. And that all adds to rhythm. If you're having to shake off 3-4 times before you every pitch, that will affect your rhythm in a negative way.
Descalso to follow. 4th inning. Way outside, 2 and 2.
Got to pay attention to Goldschmidt. He's quick. Goldschmidt not only a good base runner, he's smart.
Got him.
Good changeup. That's been such a good kill pitch for him tonight. 4th strikeout for Johnny Cueto.
Take a look at how far Cueto had to go on this pop-up. And Crawford was going to get there, but it looked like he was going to get there a little late.
It's amazing how much ground you can cover when you're thinking you're going to get an out.
Inside to Descalso. Crawford now moving to the right of second base. Down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Chance to see another left-hander tomorrow night, Robbie Ray. It's been just an avalanche of lefties. Chris Stratton will be on the mound for the Giants. Then the Giants will have their own lefty, Ty Block, on Thursday. Two balls, no strikes. Right at the knees, 2-1.
Talked about Descalso being a smart hitter, and you take a look at a 2-0 count. He takes a pipe shot with a fastball right down the middle. You're thinking, well, what's he thinking about? He wasn't looking fastball. And if he was, he wouldn't look a middle away. It's that simple. You're in a 2-0 count. You're in the go mode.
And he gets another fastball, and it's 2-2.
Daniel Descalso, one of Amy G's favorite players.
Is that true?
Yeah, he went to UC Davis.
Ah.
Amy G and Aggie.
Amy G probably graduated with honors, don't you think?
No.
No. Fouled out of play again.
But she was most popular in her class.
Oh, yeah.
3 years in a row.
Tom Hallion's trying to figure out what the count is. It's 2-2. I think that's what he put up there. Really good scoreboard here. Balls and strikes are very large.
That's becoming more important.
As every year passes. Got him, and that'll end the inning. 5 strikeouts for Cueto. And the Panda is going to lead things off. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. One of the big stories of this game is Johnny Cueto. He's dealing on the mound, throwing the ball, and also catching the ball. Here's a pop-up down the third base line, and then a little dribbler down the first base line. Johnny Cueto all over the place. Cranky ankle and all. And that ended the inning. Here's Sandoval.
A good old-fashioned pitching duel through 4 innings.
Yeah, Sandoval hit the ball very hard in his only at bat as he lined out to Peralta in left field.
I mean, I think that's the biggest difference that we see this spring than with Sandoval, and when you compare it to the last couple seasons. And that's his bat speed from the right side.
Yeah.
And the way he's swinging his bat from the right side, you could tell his shoulders are healed.
You know, I haven't heard anything, Mike, at all, and seen it in the notes. They are using a humidor now here, right?
That was the talk last year, right? You hadn't even thought about it.
Yeah. There's a ground ball to second. Sandoval's gone.
The whole purpose of the humidor is to keep a consistent weight with the baseball. By rule book definition, a ball can weigh between 5 and 5 1/4 ounces. Problem if you store baseballs, and they buy them in bulk, is that as they sit on the shelf, they can dry out, and a lighter ball goes farther. They proved that in Denver when they first brought the humidor to Coors Field. It really changed things, and because there's so much, there's so little humidity here in the desert, I figured that the humidor would have a positive effect on the ball as well.
Pence takes a curveball for a strike. He popped out to right field in the second. Fouled 0-2.
But, I mean, you go on to the next level and say, well, if that's the case, you should have a humidor in every ballpark to assure that the consistency of the way the baseball is what it is by, or what it is expected to be by the baseball rule book.
Pence goes around on the breaking ball. Strikeout number 3. And here's Belt. Belt rolled out to Descalzo, who was playing at second base. And he shifts sharply to Goldschmidt, and that'll end the inning. Avila is going to lead things off. It stays 0-0.
Tonight on Monday, April 23rd at the ballpark, your special event package will include a collector's edition co-branded snapback hat and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Nationals. Go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Avila has the only hit in this game as he lined a sharp single into left field. And the overshift is on. And a strike. Ahmed, Dyson to follow. Bottom of the 5th. Pretty close. 1 ball and 1 strike. We had a note that Mac Williamson has hit another home run tonight.
It's been hot. Hit over 500 now. Sacramento has the whole year since the season opened up for him. He's doing everything he can do to get up here.
He didn't hit one last night, right?
Well, they had rained out, or there was a day off or something. That's the only thing that's slowing him down is the schedule right now. Pablo Sandoval playing shortstop right now.
Loves it. Swing, gonna miss. 2-2. Loves it because he loved Omar Vizquel. And who didn't love Omar Vizquel? Come on.
He was so
Except Jose Mesa. He was great.
Yeah, well, that's the only guy. Omar Vizquel was a joy to watch play.
Got him. Little delayed reaction by Mr. Bellino.
That's 6 strikeouts now for Cueto, 3 in a row.
this a strike? Oh, Mike.
Absolutely is a strike. You know how I know that? Because Dan Bueno called it a strike.
Here's Ahmed. Ahmed hit a fly ball to right. Hit it pretty well. That McCutcheon ran it down. Takes a healthy rip, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, he was up there looking fastball. He was on that one.
Oh, and 2.
Right back. Start him off with a fastball, follow it up with a changeup. And if you gauge the arm speed on both pitches, almost identical. And that's what sets up that changeup beautifully.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck is Dyson. The Diamondbacks have had 2 base runners. The Giants have had 1. Got him.
I mean, he's carving turkeys right now. That's 4 strikeouts in a row, 7 on the night. Head the count, you can stretch that target and look at Posey. Hardly has to move the glove right between the knees. See ya.
Here's Dyson, who rolled on slowly up the first base line that Cueto fielded and tagged him out. Here he takes a strike. Up the middle, and that'll be a base hit. So once it got past Cueto, it was going to be tough.
That's so maddening. I mean, and really, he's just not in a great position to field his position. He falls way off towards the first base side. His right foot comes over it and almost steps towards first base. Watch the right foot. And you just can't come back. If he's in a square position, like tie block, for example, Kirk Reeder, you make that play.
Corbin grounded out in the 3rd inning. Here he taps one right near the bag, and that's going to end the inning. Through 5. Giants do not have a hit. It's 0-0.
Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
No score here at Chase Field. As we go back inside, stream the Giants on the go. This season, once again, you can stream every NBC Sports Bay Area Giants broadcast on your desktop or mobile device. Stream the Giants on the go on the NBC Sports app. So Buster Posey and the Giants trying to figure out how to get something going against Patrick Corbin. He has not been the strikeout pitcher that we saw in San Francisco, but nevertheless still very much effective. And it'll be Crawford who struck out in the third to lead things off, then Cueto, and then Austin Jackson. This will be pitch number 50 for Corbin. And it's a strike. In the dirt, the Giants, or the D-backs, play Crawford pretty much straight up. Descalzo is way off the line at third, and Ahmed playing him to pull, but in the outfield they play him the other way. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Blocked by Avila. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Talk about the strikeout ratio that Corbin has had this year, averaging 14 strikeouts per 9 innings. When he gets to a 2-strike count, I mean, he gets in the go mode.
This is skied out to left. As Peralta will come in and make the catch. And here's Cueto.
Pitcher, Johnny Cueto.
Cueto saw 1 pitch and bounced out to the second baseman Marte. Swing and a miss. We watched Cueto in batting practice in San Diego. For you folks who have been there or watched games on TV, that Western, what is it, Metal Supply Company?
Yeah, the old building in left field that it's kind of a retro building. They kind of built the park around.
He went into the second level there, which I know it's batting practice, but
hey.
And this is hit right back to Corbin, and that'll end, or make that, that'll be 2 down. And that'll bring up Austin Jackson.
I mean, that was a big deal when you first got to the big leagues as a player. You're taking batting practice. You wanted to hit a ball out of every ballpark. I mean, you never talked about it or bragged about it, but your own mind, you're checking off the list.
Jackson is struck out and flied out.
And when you're a grandpa, you can sit there with your granddaughter on your leg someday and you say, yeah, I hit one off the second porch there at the Western Metal Supply Company in San Diego. She doesn't care if it was batting practice.
No. Counts in somebody's eyes. 0-2. And another curveball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Remember Donnie Robinson, the caveman, came up with Pittsburgh. He was a good hitter. Had power. And when he put on batting practice, I mean, when he took batting practice, he put on a show. And one day he walked out from batting practice and says, well, that's 1,000. I go, 1,000 what? I've hit 1,000 home runs in batting practice. So you've been counting? He goes, yeah.
Jackson out swinging. And that's going to end the inning. 4 strikeouts and no hits for the Giants. D-backs coming up. Pregame Live will be at 5:30. We'll have the game for you at 6:30 right here on NBC Sports Bay Area. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, NBCSportsBayArea.com. Here's the leadoff hitter, David Peralta, who has struck out twice in this game. And he takes a strike.
Hey, you know what's going on tonight around baseball? We've got 15 games being played.
Yeah, the weather has cooperated. Although, watching some of the games, the way some of the guys are dressed, it just still looks like it's very cold.
I mean, that just has not happened very much this year with all the rainouts and the weather that has gone across the country. Giants had their first rainout since 2006.
Look out, and that almost hit him.
Sometimes you throw a pitch, you wonder how the heck did that guy get out of the way of that? And I think that was one of those times. Sets up the changeup, though.
Got him.
Or you could come right back and throw a fastball above the hands. And for Johnny Cueto, that's strikeout number 8. He has hat trick David Peralta, who has absolutely been on fire coming into this series. Third time he has been sent packing, this time with the high fastball.
Here's Marte. And Marte looks at a strike. And that's up and in. With Goldschmidt to follow.
That was the 81st pitch for Johnny Cueto. Patrick Corbin threw 6, has thrown 61.
Hit right back to Cueto. 2 down.
Johnny Cueto's still under what the normal pitch expectation would be through 6 innings. Ideally, a pitching coach would say they would take 90 pitches or less after 6.
And the first pitch to Goldschmidt is down low. And a strike.
Goldschmidt absolutely tore the Giants up at the long ball, and a lot of what he hit was up. They were not good location pitches. Ooh.
He doesn't take any stride at all, and such a powerful swing.
And compact. Maybe it's really a swing that's built for power and average. And that's what he gives you year in and year out.
I'd like to see this guy hit a golf ball.
He wouldn't embarrass himself.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Wanted to go, but held up. It's 3-2. Pitch count 87. He's probably got 100 in him tonight.
Oh, easy.
And that'll end the inning. 9 strikeouts for Cueto. Giants need to get something going. Panic, McCutchen, Posey coming up. Toyota, your local Toyota dealer. Well, 2 pitchers, 2 starters, and they've been terrific.
They really have. Johnny Cueto with 2 hits allowed, 9 strikeouts, no walks. The only blemish on Corbin's report card is the 1 walk he had in the 4th inning with 1 out to Joe Panic. Both pitchers have put on a clinic tonight.
And a strike. You know, I give credit to Dan Bellino. He's done a good job.
Yeah, it hasn't been a huge strike zone. I mean, what you've gotten called a strike, you've had to earn. And it's been very steady. All you can ask from an umpire.
Panic lifts it out to left. It'll be playable as Peralta puts it away.
You know, when you have a no-hitter being thrown against you, that kind of takes precedent over the actual game itself, because no team wants to get no hit. But normally you're thinking about good at bat, good swings, get the leadoff hitter on. All that's out the door. Now all of a sudden it's just one thing you're all concentrating on: get a hit.
Here's McCutchen, who's 0 for 2. And he takes a strike. McCutchen is bounced out to short, and he's hit a fly ball to center field.
Giants have been very aggressive early in counts. They just don't want to get in the 2-strike count against Corbin. You can't blame him when he averages 14 strikeouts per 9.
It's kind of a belt-high strike.
But the end result is there's been a lot of quick outs within 3 pitches, which accounts for the low number of total pitches he's throwing. Here's that high strike you're talking about. It's the first one of those we've seen.
Two and two. Got him.
McCutchen thought that was inside. That's the first called strike 3 that Corbin has gotten tonight. 5th strikeout. And look where they set the target. It's right between the knees, and that's how you can make that strike zone grow a little bit with Bellino. Alex Avila doing a good job of getting his body behind that.
So here's Buster Posey. Buster takes in tight.
It was not that far away from strike 3 to McCutchen.
Grounded foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Posey had a little bit of a sprain in his thumb. Missed Sunday's game, had day off yesterday. So with 2 days off, his legs had to feel great.
Right now trying to get on base for Pablo Sandoval. Center field. Pollock back, spins around, and he dives and he makes the catch. Well, kind of knuckled on Pollock, but as he spun around, he managed to pick it up.
Wow, and it keeps the Giants hitless through 7 innings. Here's the knuckle you're talking right there, a lunge. And in the end, he gets the job done. What a play.
You're trying to throw a no-hitter. Plays like this are important.
Yeah, everybody in this ballpark is thinking the same thing, and that just preserved the no-no through 7. It's just a great play. The point you make about a knuckleball is exactly what happened. When a ball is hit off the bat and there's no spin on it, no backspin, no topspin, and it knuckles, it moves like a knuckleball from a knuckleball pitcher. It goes up, down, left, right. You don't know what it's going to do. And that was a very difficult play. And you make a great play, you get to lead off.
So Pollock stands in. And you see what Pollock is doing. He's struck out twice against Cueto. And the first pitch close, he was going to take a hack at it. Oh, 2.
Taking one more look at this play from A.J. Pollock. And the ball just starts getting weird right here. And as it's knuckling away, really has been the play of the night. Not quite the sweet spot, but close enough.
In the dirt, it's 2-2.
Eyes open wide. Watch it right into the glove. Just seems so simple, doesn't it?
It does. Got him. I don't know about that one.
That's 3 strikeouts on Pollock now, and it's 10 on the night for Johnny Cueto. All right, let's see. Did he go? Phil Cuzzy, the first base umpire. Oh, yeah, he went. Heck yeah, good call.
Here's Descalzo.
15th career game with 10+ strikeouts.
This is hit on the ground to Panic. 2 outs. And here's Avila. The quicker the inning, the better it is for Cueto to stay out there for a while.
No question. And the other thing too, you look at 93 pitches, but how many of those pitches are stress pitches? He hadn't had many. Most he's thrown is 19, that in the second. Both pitchers are just locked into great rhythms, and they are feeding off one another.
Strike to Avila.
Mixing speeds, mixing movement, mixing location. And what Cueto has done so masterfully tonight is set up the fastball. Whereas Corbin has used the fastball to set up the breaking ball. Time had been called. Should not go on your pitch count.
That's a free shot at a guy, isn't it?
Well, believe it or not, that's the way it used to be taught. Tells you how the game was changed. Guy calls timeout like that, you give him a free shot to throw one hopper at him.
Sorry.
Slipped.
In tight, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Some guys didn't bother with the 1 hop either. The changeup has just been his go-to pitch. I mean, he had that first inning. And that's pretty much what we've seen from Cueto this year. As you made the point earlier, when you get a chance to get him, you get him early. But And it hasn't happened this year. He's come out that first inning with great stuff.
Strikeout number 11 for Cueto. Sandoval, Pence, Belt coming up.
RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 available right now. You can learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Sandoval will lead it off. Giants have had one base runner. That was a walk in the fourth to Joe Panik. Sandoval offers at that first pitch and fouls it off the backstop. The number of pitches for Corbin is very low. He's got 74. And tight to even the count. Pence to follow.
Just haven't been that many hard hit balls off Corbin. One of the hardest balls hit off of the night off the bat of Pablo Sandoval when he lined out back in the second inning to left field.
Cast that one high. It's 2-1.
The ball Posey hit last inning. And that's pretty much it.
2-2. Well, with Tony Watson in the bullpen, the night may be over for Johnny Cueto. So,
was he spectacular or what?
He was. High to left field. It's in the park. Moving over is Peralta, and he'll make the catch. 1 out. And here's Hunter Pence.
There you see Tony Watson. Matt Herges, the Giants bullpen coach. Johnny Cueto has been on fire since the very first start of this season.
So Hunter Pence with a swing and a miss. I don't think, and I know that hitters just go back and get the stickum, but usually it's because you're fooled on a changeup. that causes you to have that bat come flying out of your hand. No swing, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It is a weird feeling. Well, you get an idea as just how loosely a big league hitter will grip that bat. Lighter the grip, the heavier the bat head. Same thing with a golf club. We have baseball clinics for little leaguers. That's one of the questions we ask. How hard do you grip a bat when you really want to hit it hard? And they put a death grip on that bat.
Belt to follow. 2-2 to Hunter Pence. Got him.
Now that's a swing where you're swinging at a fastball, but you're thinking about a breaking ball. You get caught in between. And this fastball is right by him. And the only way that happens is if he's got a breaking ball in your mind.
Yep. Here's Belt. And Belt fouls it back. He had a pitch to hit. It's no balls and 1 strike.
Talking about balls that were hit hard. Brandon Belt's last at bat, he hit a hard ground ball to Goldschmidt.
On the ground, long throw, not in time, and on that little weak ground ball, because of the overshift, the Giants with their first hit.
Yeah, that'll put a few smiles in that Giants dugout. Believe me, the pressure's off the offense, at least in regards to getting a first hit. And wouldn't you know it? It just gives you an idea how special no-hitters really are. Well, this is all it takes, a check swing. And the overshift allowed Belt to get a hit. Just an excuse me, and then leg it out.
Never seen so many happy faces on a 40-foot ground ball.
I know, a check swing hit. It's like, you're the man and a babe. It was about a 30,000 person groan, though, here in this ballpark. Diamondbacks no-hitters in history. Randy Johnson had a no-hitter perfect game against the Braves in 2004, and then Edwin Jackson did it.
So Crawford gets to face Corbin out of the stretch. He's only been in the stretch to 2 hitters, McCutchen and Posey in the 4th.
And speaking of Randy Johnson, here's the big unit.
This pop-up should end the inning. Is Descalzo coming down from 3rd? And that'll do it. Bottom of the 8th coming up. change things speedy. Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
So the new pitcher now for the Giants will be the left-handed veteran, Tony Watson. This is what he has done in 6 games. He's been very good. 10 strikeouts in 6 2/3. And he will try to answer the 0 that Patrick Corbin put on top of the 8th. Johnny Cueto tonight was absolutely spectacular. And what he gets out of it is a good workout. But he's given his team a chance to win. Now it's up to Tony Watson.
Facing Nick Ahmed, who pops up the first pitch, and it's out of play. At the knees, 0-2.
Nick Ahmed not in agreement with that call. I think he thought that was both down and in. Take a look at the pitch. Yeah, it's close enough to where you really can't blame the umpire.
Somebody's going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
If Bellino calls it a ball, then Watson's probably thinking, well, that should have been a strike.
You're right.
Got him.
And he comes back on the 0-2 count and paints him on the other corner. It's the 12th Diamondback to go down by way of the strikeout tonight.
Here's Dyson. Dyson is 1 for 2. Sandoval is way in at third. Belt a couple of steps beyond the bag at first. 2 balls and no strikes. Three and 0.
Now, one guy you do not want to walk in a 0-0 ball game is a guy with speed.
Yeah, the fastest guy on the field. There's a strike. Well, that leaves it an easy call with Corbin coming up. Although remember, he can swing the bat a little bit.
Yeah, he's a good hitting pitcher, but he's also a good bunting pitcher. And the 1-out walk to speed, that makes the cheese a little more binding.
Corbin has bounced out twice. And he takes down low on a breaking ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
And with the point you make about Corbin being a good hitter, I mean, you cannot be overly aggressive if you're a corner infielder. I mean, you want to get that lead out. They're thinking get the lead out. But with Gerard Dyson's speed and a pitcher up there who can swing the bat, you cannot come crashing hard because Corbin will take the bat back and slash on you.
Bunts this one. Down to second. Goes Dyson. So for the first time in this game, for either team, there's a base runner in scoring position. And here's Peralta. Peralta against Cueto had struck out 3 times. Outside, 1-0.
Well, and remember, he was the hottest guy on this D-backs team before the start of this game. I mean, he's just coming off this road trip where he put on a clinic with the bat.
One for 7 lifetime for Peralta against Tony Watson. Up the middle and a base hit. Coming in to score is Dyson. And it's 1-0. D-backs.
Just nothing special, just a bat control effort back up the middle. This has always been an infield that's quicker than others in the National League West. When you hit him right up the middle and split it between two middle infielders, it didn't make a difference.
This is hit to Sandoval at third. And that's going to end the inning. So the Giants need to have one to tie.
Show me the San Francisco Giants into their X1 voice remote and get live stats on the TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
1-0 D-backs. 9th inning. Here's Gorkis Hernandez, a pinch hitter. And a foul at home plate. No balls and 1 strike. 88 pitches for Corbin. That's how good he's been. Two
pitches, 2 breaking balls. Got control of that breaking ball all night long. He has not hung at one time where it's hurt him.
And Hernandez is out swinging, 1 out. And here's Jackson. See the starting pitching tonight? That's how good it's been.
It really was a spectacular outing between these two guys. Neither one would give in to the other. Just 3 hits between them. 18 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Very economical with their pitch count.
So here's Austin Jackson. Jackson is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And this is foul to the backstop. It's almost as if the Giants are trying to guess a little bit at the plate, they're just guessing backwards.
We've seen a lot of swings break down, especially in attempt to hit that breaking ball. But now the breaking ball is so much on their mind, now they're late on the fastball. I mean, that's how good the breaking ball's been.
Here's the 1-2. Got him on the breaking ball in the dirt. 2 down. And Nick Hundley's going to hit. So here's Hundley. Hundley trying to either knock one out of the park or get on for McCutcheon. And he takes the call strike.
1 to measure. 1 to rake. Hundley had a nice series in San Diego and he really has been seeing the ball good all year. Well, Hundley can't believe that one. He thought that was low. He thought it was outside. Yeah. I think Hundley's got a pretty good point. But the pitch has been so good, you can't blame an umpire for looking for strikes.
Foul. So it stays at 0-2.
Patrick Corbin, Johnny Cueto both earned that right to have an umpire look for strikes as consistent as they were to the strike zone all night. And now for Hundley, you got to battle. You're down to your last strike.
Here's the 1-2 to Hundley. On the ground, foul.
Next pitch will be number 100.
Hits a left. And it's caught by Peralta, and that's the ball game. So Hundley hits it well. And the night really belongs to Patrick Corbin, who throws a complete game shutout.
Well, he was masterful. And his usage of the breaking ball tonight is really as advertised. We talked about the 14 strikeouts he was averaging for 9 innings. He had 8 strikeouts on the night. I mean, that's not his average, but it's what he did with the fastball, pitching off of the breaking ball that was so impressive. The Giants just did not have that many timed swings to him all night long.
So game 1 of this 3-game series goes to the D-backs in a pitcher's duel, and the Diamondbacks win it by a final of 1-0. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for Giants Postgame Live, presented by Toyota, which is going to start right now.